Well, firstly,
Yeah, of course.
little clap. Thursday, 8 p.m. Obviously,
Everyone's doing
it's
it.
NHS clap. I can hear all the bells outside, as always.
Yeah.
First podcast, obviously, it might be a bit more on the
Scuff.
ropes than the others, but you live and you learn, right?
Yeah, no.
Um, this probably won't be as long as some of the other ones that we're planning on doing, especially if we have guests and so on. Ever. Um, I think in this one we're really just going to discuss the current events with all this coronavirus going on. But because we don't want to just bore people with 30 minutes of just random facts that you already know by looking at the news, but we're more going to delve into the gaming community side and how it's affected that and all the figures and things that have gone on there. Um, but yeah, I think that's will be a bit more appealing, especially for this type of community, the community that we're aiming to please. So I think that's what we're going to start with. So Ed, would you
Yeah,
like
man.
to talk about our first topic?
Yeah, man. So, basically, it's just about how the lockdown itself has actually impacted the gaming, like, sales. Oh, well,
Mm,
hello, Christian. Welcome to the stream, my brother. This is a podcast. Um, but due to say the gaming sales are up in like every single bit. So it could be like Fortnite, Valorant, GTA. Basically every game.
mm.
All sales are up, but the production of new games are actually down at the moment, which is quite surprising. I mean, you could kind of like expect that, I guess, in some ways, because everyone's kind of working from home, uh,
Do you
basically
know
like
what games
focusing
are
on.
delayed?
So I don't actually know what games are delayed currently, but
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine it's going to be like Valorant or maybe even the smaller games because they might struggle actually to release it on time just
Yeah.
due to like a smaller production team or whatever that is. But recently, obviously, there's a new game called Valorant out. I don't know if you might have heard of it. I think you probably have. It's similar to CS:GO and Overwatch. That
I've never played it. What is it? Is it any good? I like honestly, I've never played it. I haven't thought about playing it to be
so
honest. But
basically it's exactly like CS:GO. Just you get abilities and you can use them. Um,
fair.
it's basically very
Is
similar. I'm going to be
is it
honest.
like a 6v6?
It's a 5v5.
5v5, fair.
Yeah, as far as
And is there
I can remember.
different people that you can like upgrade or?
It's not upgrading. It's more of like there are different people you can
Hmm.
use, and they each have different abilities. That it's quite interesting actually. I can imagine it being quite competitive when it comes to it. It's currently in closed beta at the moment, so you do have to watch a certain amount of um. Well, you do have to watch a certain amount of someone's stream to actually be eligible to have the ability to unlock it and use it.
I'm sure it will go to esport because the type of gameplay that I've seen from it is it's very competitive. But it just seems so sort of if you have accuracy, you sort of a go at the game.
Yeah,
If you
pretty
know what I
much,
mean, like
pretty much.
literally, you can just headshots and just kill people, and you don't really have much of a chance.
Yeah, you just kind of one tap headshot everyone. So,
Mm.
but it's scheduled to actually release in summer at some
What the
point.
full
Yeah,
game?
the full game, so open to everyone. It's made by Riot, so the owners of League of Legends. So I think that's probably where they took all the abilities from. They just kind of
Yeah.
implemented that. And as far as I know, I don't think they actually worked with CS, like Counter Strike or
Hmm.
Overwatch when producing it. So I don't know if
I
there's going to
only
be like issues between like stealing ideas or anything like that. But
Yeah, the only reason why I thought it was a very good mix between them two was on the base basically because it's got the same graphics sort of as Overwatch and CS combined, and then it's got a very similar play style to CS:GO. So that's why I was thinking sort of it's a bit of a mix together. But I guess they can't really say you copied me, because in the everything when you look at Fortnite and Warzone and stuff like that, then there's a big sort of main
yeah,
thing
exactly.
that's going on there. So it's just a different game that's come out that people are enjoying. I'm sure the sales of that. Well, I guess it's in a beta at the moment. It's free at the moment. Am I right
Yeah,
in
it
saying
is
that?
currently. Yeah, it's currently free.
Yeah, the definitely the players in that are gonna have skyrocketed, just especially because obviously it's in beta, and this whole coronavirus has taken over. Like I've got some stats here, but they're not from Valorant, but it's to do with Warzone. I can say in the first sort of, when do you think Warzone came out? It would have been earlier this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah, in the
most
first
likely.
31 days of Warzone being out, there was 50 million active players.
Jeez, that's mad.
And in the first 16 weeks of Fortnite coming out, there was 45 million active players. So it really shows the difference in how possibly the current situation has affected
Yeah, true.
what's going on, if that makes sense. Because obviously it's meant more people are indoors, more people are staying at home. But it's also been better for the launch of Warzone, because it's just skyrocketed, and it's just probably made is it Activision, the people who have
I think so.
created Warzone?
Because it wasn't Treyarch, was it? Because that switched from
No,
obviously like Black Ops 2 and all of
yeah,
the older Call of Duties. I'm pretty sure it switched to Activision. I'm pretty sure they ended up just taking it over and using it. So
yeah. But obviously it's been a good sort of win for them, 100%.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
Christian said,
yeah,
"How is our day going?" in the Twitch chat. And as far as I'm concerned, I think my day's gone pretty well. It's been really sunny, to be fair.
it's
So
been quite busy in my work, but it's nice to come home. And we sort
yeah,
of just thought we wanted to start something that we could have a bit of a commitment to, and it'll be a bit of fun,
yeah,
and something
definitely.
to sort of meet up on a weekly basis and just discuss everything that's sort of going on. Because currently, week by week, everything is changing. Like, it's crazy at the moment. But yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely. P. Sully also
I'm
said, even to think that Valorant averages 400k viewers a night, everyone is just home due to the virus, and it's literally true. I mean, especially for like live streams and stuff, Valorant, I feel like it's taken over as well from all those
mhm.
games. So obviously Fortnite is now currently on the decline.
Yeah.
Warzone is probably on its way out as well. I mean, it's still very popular, but
I
it's
don't think I don't think Warzone will be on its way out, because I feel like Valorant is a very subjective game. Same with CS:GO
yeah,
and
true.
Overwatch. Like I can happily go play a game of CS:GO and Overwatch, but I wouldn't be able to try out it. It's a very subjective game to how you play it. Like, you can hop on a game of Warzone and have a bit of fun with that. And, or to be fair, on that, all you really need is a bit of sort of common sense when you're getting around. When you're playing Valorant or that, you sort of need to be on your toes, if you know what I mean. That's why I feel like it's going to be a very subjective game, and maybe there might be a drop off in Warzone when it comes out in the summer, but I really doubt it'll kill Warzone like what Warzone's done to Fortnite.
Yeah, true. I mean, everyone saw how when Warzone came out, Fortnite just went downhill from there, really.
Yeah,
But I mean,
100%.
yeah, I see what you mean though, because Valorant's very selective. I feel like if you don't have, I don't know, I would say good aim, but if you're not like capable, um, then it's you're gonna struggle. I feel like I mean, I've been playing FPS games with obviously you guys as well for quite a long
Hmm.
time now on computer, and I find CS quite, I wouldn't say easy, but not exactly hard. But then when I hop in
No, yeah,
Valorant
I know what you
ranked,
mean.
I'm literally getting destroyed by everyone. It was quite funny. Uh, Christian also said, "Do you think GameStop is still open, or is it closed as well?" So I'm pretty sure in relation to like businesses, because I'm pretty sure GameStop is an American games business, as far as
Yeah,
I know.
I think it is.
I
Yeah,
can only like the similar thing to us is probably H&M and Game itself, the
yeah.
businesses. Um, but I think that yeah, it probably
I mean,
it won't be
I've just
open,
sort
but
of,
you can still
I've
order
just
stuff.
I've just
Sorry.
looked from it, and it says GameStop starts reopening stores closed by COVID-19. And it's been reopening in locations of Italy, Germany, Austria, and South Carolina and Georgia. So it looks like they're slowly opening up, just not based on everything that's going up, because obviously in Italy the case is going down a little bit. Same in Germany, and I'm not sure about Austria, but I'm sure similar things going on there. So I definitely think that now, this is for every business really, that now some of the cases are dropping. They're trying to open up their business again, because they would have took
Yeah.
a massive hit with sales. Like it says here, that GameStop noted that as of earlier this month, it had $772 million in a total cash and liquidity, which it believes will be enough to see it through the situation. Which was obviously, luckily, business like GameStop, such a huge business, has that money to be able to push it through this situation. But there's a lot of businesses that have just crashed 100% during everything that's going on.
Yeah, so there you go, Christian. GameStop is reopening some of its stores, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a bit of a bad idea.
Yeah, but I mean, if
sorry,
you live in Italy, Germany, Austria, or the states of South
I
Carolina or
bet you're
Georgia, go
buzzing.
ahead, get yourself a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
innit? Go to the store. I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a bad idea reopening like all the
Mhm.
stores and stuff because obviously they were talking about like they're worried about a second peak in the virus, and I mean like that's why I think that they shouldn't be opening stores so early.
Mhm.
Christian said, yeah, some places that don't have that much sickness, I think they are opening, but letting one person at a time. See, that's still good. That's enforcing the social distancing that we want to see, really, when it comes to obviously hardcore gamers going into a store and purchasing some games.
I mean, speaking about social distancing and gaming, there was actually an online game aimed at helping children see the importance of social distancing created during all this pandemic, and it sort of has the same graphics as Animal Crossing, and in the first 2 days of it being created, it's racked up 10,000 plays. So for a little game that literally teaches children about staying 2 meters away from each other, it's racked up 10,000 plays in the first 2 days, which I thought was
Jeez.
quite shocking, to be fair. And it's not even got the best graphics. I just thought it was quite an interesting little fact to throw in there regarding just new games that are upcoming, and even regarding the current situation. It's important to note that sort of importance of the social distance in between people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to move this on to the impact
Hmm.
of esports. So I mentioned this earlier on, but obviously due to people not being able to do what they want to do outside, that also cancels like racing, um, so obviously car racing, and obviously just football in general.
Hmm.
But so they've then had to move it on to like the video games, so like FIFA. Like quite a few of the football players have actually played some
Yeah,
games on
I've seen that.
FIFA, which
Yeah,
is actually like kind of sick to be fair. Sick for like
yeah,
the gaming community in general. Like that's kind of mad to think that all these popular people are just moving onto the consoles to be able to do what they want to do
yeah. It
in like
brings
a
the two worlds
realistic.
together.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, in relation to esports, it's obviously gonna drop their sales in terms of tickets and all of that,
Hmm.
and that also relates to like festivals and that sort of stuff.
I
Um,
mean, in relation to FIFA, that was also one of the two games, along with Warzone, that has been massive, like has boomed
it's
massively.
popping off now.
Um,
FIFA 20 is popping
yeah,
off.
FIFA, the owner of FIFA, EA, it says that the player numbers have absolutely like astonished, been rising so much during this pandemic. Because I mean, what else are you gonna do? Just sit at home and you want to be outside playing football, but the closest you can do to it is just play it with your mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
exactly. So I mean, when it comes to obviously the virus impacting like all of us,
Mm.
like I feel like it just boosts the amount of time we spend playing games, and I think that might also impact like the amount of team members, like the amount of teams that are like appearing, and like the
Yeah,
amount of like competitive like availability. It kind of opens up like another, I don't know. It's
yeah. Because it
basically
also
like
gives
a
chances for sort of up and coming people to rise into the community of the
yeah,
gaming, and
exactly.
especially the
Yeah,
competitive
definitely.
gaming. Because like I'd like to say 9 out of 10 kids who play games, they might be good at it, but a lot of them wouldn't take it up as professionally. But now that everyone's got all this time in their hands, there's more time for them to actually be recognized.
Yeah, and also
So
thinking
I
about
think.
what they want to do. I guess that also kind of links on to like YouTube and Twitch in terms of like having a fresh start on that. So exactly what we're
Mm,
doing now, really, with obviously the podcast
yeah,
essential YouTube.
because
Um,
now we've got sort of free time. And I don't know if it's something that we've always sort of wanted to do, but I just think it's a nice idea to like I said before, to come together sort of once a week, discuss everything that's going on at the moment, and sometimes we'll be just discussing random sort of funny things that we have going on
Yeah,
or that we've
exactly.
had
So
that can relate to anything. So I think it's just a good way to sort of share with the community and just grow a little community regarding things that we enjoy talking about.
yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously currently we're streaming off my personal account, but in the future we might even change that depending. Um, and then we can move the community over, and it could be really good. Like,
Hmm.
we obviously what we're doing is taking in the viewers' questions and actually talking about that. So as P Sully and Christian both said earlier, they followed on our conversation, which is actually like really nice to see. And especially when we
Yeah,
start uploading all this to Twitter and YouTube, we might even have stuff in the comments to talk about. People might give in ideas, and we can just focus a podcast on that idea, a bit like a Q&A really on YouTube. It's like if they have a question,
mm.
we can do some research into it and kind of just go with it and see what happens. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Literally, we're going to be trying to sort of stay in sort of contact with the community as much as possible, because I feel like, especially with sort of a podcast, it's going to be needed more than just normal gaming. Because when you're gaming, you have 15-20 minutes of you focusing on the game before you get back into the lobby,
Yeah,
or you die or whatever. But on this, it's going to be so useful if you have the active comments, active chats. And it just makes it more fun and more enjoyable, and make us want to do it more, and have like maybe even have guests on the podcast that you would be able to ask them questions, which
yeah,
would be more
exactly.
interactive.
I mean that could even be like one of our friends, or it could be a another streamer and their opinion on certain stuff.
Hmm.
Like we could even bring in quite a few like high up streamers and just being like, right, so have you got any opinions as of this topic, or have you got any advice to be given to smaller streamers or YouTubers or whatever that are trying to start out during like this lockdown period, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice, because that means they can then be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go and try that and see what happens. So
Yeah, we just want to sort of, like I mentioned, we just want to grow a community as best we can, and we want to get involved with everyone and everything that's going on. But it's just what's going to happen with the chat, and we can only hope for the best, can't we?
exactly, just trying to like it's just about consistency really, isn't it? I mean, as you said, and as it's linked in all of our descriptions and about settings,
Hmm.
we are obviously going to stream this every single Thursday at 8 p.m. So if we can continue to do that every single time, the people who enjoy the streams can come and just jump in, and they know exactly when we'll be live, and they can join in the
Yeah,
conversation, which is really good. So
and depending what goes on with it, it might be more of like a nice, easy conversation. Like right now, it might sound a bit more sort of scripted, but it's just we just want it to have sort of a nice, chill conversation, to be honest. And I think maybe 2-3 more weeks of doing this, we'll get into the proper flow of it, and we might
yeah,
have 1 or 2 people who are more consistent coming in the chat, and we can have just a nice bit of fun conversation around a bit of a backstory or something along them lines, and it'll be really nice to see people getting involved with that. And to keep the interaction, we're gonna post like little clips on the Twitter page, which is just Podcaster Central. So you can see that
yeah,
right down
it's
there.
on the screen.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, we're going to try and get as much interaction as possible. Try and keep up to date. Feel free to comment some topics you want us to talk about on the YouTube video, on some on highlights, or even on the Twitter, or tag us in recent game news that you see. And yeah, we can start talking about that in the next stream or next video when we see that, and it'll be really interesting to talk about and get involved.
yeah. I mean, I guess this starter podcast is actually just to like talk about what's going to happen
Hmm.
and we're actually doing, so it doesn't just look like we're just random. We don't really know what's going on. So
Yeah, it's
and
sort of we're just going to talk about sort of the future of well, at the moment we just talk about the future of this podcast and what we're hoping for it to happen.
yeah, exactly. So have you got any other topics you'd like to talk about, or
Well, I mean, in relation to the gaming and everything like that, and everything that's going on with the NHS and them being bombarded. I don't know if you knew this, but the NHS workers are actually getting free video games out of everything that's going on. I think I don't know which games exactly, but because of everything that's going on, they're getting proper stressed. They've been issued free video games, which I think is pretty cool.
Have they?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
actually
can have a
sick.
little. Yeah, I can have a little look now, just to get the exact ones.
Oh,
But
Christian. Sorry. I
no,
was
it's all
saying,
right.
Christian in chat said nobody knows what's going to happen from now on. It's like gambling; you don't really know what you're going to get. And maybe someone has made a medicine for this already, but the only thing we can do is pray and sit and wait. I mean, yeah, that's very true, but I feel like the medicine or the vaccine or whatever you want to call it, it's not going to be done
Mm,
for a while. I mean, they've said on the news that that it could take up to a year, up to 12 months to get a vaccine. So I feel like this could be very similar to like the flu in terms of how long it lasts for and the fact that it's always going to be there.
yeah, I mean, I heard something on the news saying they've got all these antibody tests coming out,
Yeah, yeah,
which
I saw
are,
that as well.
and I swear they're pretty much to see if you've already had it. So, like if you've been ill recently, or I think around Christmas, a lot of people had it, but it never really came about. You can get a test by that antibody test, and it actually sees if you have coronavirus antibodies in your blood, and then they'll use that towards a cure, which I think is pretty cool to
Yeah, I
to,
think
to
yeah, I
do.
agree. I mean, they were also saying that they're not sure if you've had it, you can get it again or you can't get it again.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, I reckon it comes in like different stages though, so you could have different types of it. So obviously you've got like the severe symptoms with people who are in intensive care, but you could also have like the mild symptoms of just like a cough, which I mean, that could be a different stage of it. So you could have like a cough, you could get over it, and then you could be hit with more severe symptoms, and that might, yeah, like I don't think those antibodies from the cough are gonna stop you from getting it again in a more severe way.
Yeah, I mean the only sort of information that we've got at the moment just to protect ourselves is just obviously covering your mouth and nose, and making sure you just keep washing your hands, everything like that, and just making sure that you stay safe, stay indoors, and
Obviously, social distancing as well is a
according
huge
to
thing.
Boris, stay aware.
Stay
But
away.
uh,
Yeah, true.
but yeah, it's just a weird time at the moment. We don't know really what's going on. Like what Christian said, it's kind of like gambling because you don't know whether you want to go out meet a mate, obviously within that distancing rule. But you just don't want to. You don't know if you want to risk it or not. But
Yeah.
100%, I agree with you, Christian, there about you don't know what it's going to be like. It could go anywhere. We could get a second spike, like what happened in Wuhan. But yeah, anything could happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna move it on to the
Hmm.
difference between consoles and computers and whether I wonder if those sales have actually like increased or decreased. Uh, because obviously with some people being on the 80% furlough,
Oh
people
yeah,
obviously have
100%.
less
Yeah.
money, and obviously computers cost way more than a console. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get a PS4 now for like 100 and something pound, which
I mean, you say people have less money, but now people can't go anywhere. They won't be spending it on anything.
yeah, exactly. That's
So
that's what I've seen with me because obviously when
yeah,
I get paid for my work, it's just kind of sat there. Like no one can actually use cash either. So if you had cash sat around, you can't use it in very many places.
mm,
Um, and I mean, I, like people will be saving a lot more, but I wonder if they're also gonna not then spend money on consoles or computers because they feel like they might end up actually just running out of money or having not enough
yeah.
for like different reasons. Which I mean is quite good and all, but when it comes to like sales for businesses, it's like PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, their sales are just gonna fall like every year or every month
Mm.
or whatever. So I don't
I
know.
mean,
I feel like
I just got a little fact up here. Let's have a look. Um, where was it? And it said around 156 million units have been sold this year for like consoles alone.
that's still a mad amount
Yeah, that's a huge amount, and I'm sure in the past few months that's definitely
increased.
risen,
Yeah.
just like it spiked. But it is such an interesting thing just to see how obviously everyone's staying indoors. It's just boosted the sales of everywhere else. So some businesses are thriving, like we said before, but others are not and dying. So it's not as
Yeah.
good. What else have you got regarding the consoles and PC?
Well, I feel like computers are like they're needed, right?
Mm,
But obviously the laptops are the cheaper option, and people probably use laptops a lot more just for like work. Like you can take it to work, you can take it to university, you can take it to college.
yeah,
So in terms of like PC gaming, I feel like that's probably decreased over like the consoles, which I feel like the console games probably might have increased because obviously you don't have to go into a store to buy a game anymore. You can just go on the store and actually buy the game there, which is quite cool. And obviously that's the same on PC, I guess, isn't it? But for the
yeah,
actual like hardware itself, I feel like less people will be spending so much money on a computer or like computer parts like a microphone, a keyboard, like the accessories that you kind of need to make it run properly.
yeah. Especially I feel like one thing that would have boosted the sales in like laptops and that would have been working from home because not all companies provided their workers with like a desktop or a laptop they could use at home. So I feel like that would have boosted it in relation just to getting a basic laptop. But in relation to gaming, I feel like console would have been the best option to choose over a PC because console's a lot more portable than a PC, and it's just a lot more simpler because PC you have so many different options
Yeah.
to choose from, and consoles it's sort of just back bang in the middle sort of thing.
Yeah, console you just need a screen and the actual console for it to work. So, whereas the
Yeah,
PC you
literally.
obviously need a mouse, keyboard, probably a mouse mat, headset, headphones, whatever you need, speakers that come separate, monitor.
Mm.
It's
And I
like mad
mean,
to think that most monitors are actually more expensive than a console,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
kind of like
it's mad. Yeah.
ridiculous. It's like
You get the whole thing in one, yeah. And
exactly.
monitors can be more expensive. Like a small 32-inch monitor can be more expensive than just a general like HD TV to put your console on. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And that can be huge. And I think if this carries on over summer, the PS5 sales I think might be quite big because it says that after a lot of rumors that Sony's confirmed that the PS5 release date is holiday 2020. So I assume it'll be between now and Christmas that
yeah,
uh, that will come out, and it's definitely going to be 2020 is what they've said. So obviously they have people working on it, whether people are working at home on the actual logistics of it, or they're just making production of them all at the moment. It'll be just interesting to see how the sales of that boost in relation to everyone being at home. I'm sure it will, 100%. I'm sure it'll be massive.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's constantly gone up though. From like the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4, it's always gone up. I mean,
Mm.
I just I can imagine PS5 obviously going up drastically because all the PS4s will be like, yeah, I want the new stuff. Everyone's like one person moves to it, or my mates move to that, let's move to that. And I feel like that might also impact the amount of people who are buying computers. Which I mean, for me, computer gaming is so much better. It's so much more skill based than playing consoles. You kind of like pay to play better
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah, definitely. Like especially with PC, it's just getting more RAM, getting a better graphics card, getting a better GPU, getting a better cooling system. All of it is sort of pay to win before you even pay for the game. So it's difficult like that because you might want to just enjoy the game, but if you've got not good internet or you've got a bad graphics card, which makes your FPS bad, anyone who's got a slightly better graphics card than you is always going to have the upper hand in a game every single
Yeah,
time.
true. I mean, obviously you can get like you can like I take FPS over quality. So if I have to play a game low graphics to be able to run at a solid speed and it's looking like playable, then I'll do that. So I mean, in a way, GPU is obviously a good thing to have, like a better one, but you
Mm,
don't always need it to perform well at a game. In a
yeah,
way,
100%.
Christian has said two things in the chat. He said that
Hmm.
this has already happened, but we've given it a new name. They've not made a cure, and it kind of just went away, like
Yeah,
nothing
regarding it.
happened. And I think it's gonna do a repeat. I think it will go away, and then it will come back at some
Yeah.
random time, and we won't have a vaccine for it. And then he also
Uh,
said, I couldn't really understand what he meant with this message. Actually, he said, uh, "Yeah, now we are just playing, and to think of the olden days, it might have taken him a while to type it." So in a way, I think he's expressing that computers have actually made it so much
I,
easier to communicate with people, but I might have misunderstood that.
I mean, I think you might have been saying about to find the cure, maybe. I think he might have been saying if he's talking about the coronavirus and finding the cure, instead of type, he might have said meant find. Because obviously in the old days, they didn't have all the same resources and
Yeah,
science,
yeah,
technology like we have now. And yeah, regarding his first message that he said about they haven't it's happened a while ago or whatever. There was news about it saying it's going to be like the common cold, like it's literally always going to be here, and there
yeah,
won't be an infant thing. Apparently, they're making vaccines for it, or they're trying to make shots for it that it'll be like one of your things you have when you're a child, I assume, like the chickenpox one or whatever, or the measles one that you get when you're younger. Um,
definitely, yeah,
I think that might be happening because obviously the actual, what do you call it, the information and technology now to do that. I think that's instead of finding a world cure that's just going to cure everyone. I feel like it's going to stick around for a while, like how Christian was saying,
yeah,
and we're just going
yeah.
to have to live with it and
I
deal with
agree.
it.
I agree. He meant to say, can I? But it might take me. Oh, can I say something? But it might take me a while to type it.
Of course, yeah,
Yes,
go
yeah,
ahead.
you can take as much time as you want, mate. We'll be chat. I knew I misunderstood it. I was like, hmm. um,
Oh, he says, yeah. Now we are just playing, just thinks from the olden days, and then you meant to put like something there, and then can I
uh,
say something? It might take a while. Yeah.
like
Like maybe
maybe why
while this
this
stuff.
is all
Oh,
happened. Oh,
conspiracy.
conspiracy, I rate it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been all that 5G conspiracy. What do you think of
What's
that?
I don't. You're gonna have to enlighten me, educate
5G.
me, sir, educate me.
Right, I'll
5G
get a
makes me
bit of.
think of something better than 4G on a phone.
I mean, pretty much. There's been all these new 5G conspiracy towers that have been made, which is pretty much like you say, one up than 4G. But people have got all mad conspiracies about it. Like there was a case where a school of like kids that was next to a newly built 5G tower. Apparently, a load of kids started getting headaches and felt really ill, and apparently it got related to having being linked with the 5G.
Could make you think
So
that it could be like radiation
yeah, literally, like
in
I'll
some
read
way.
some. I'll read something here that it's COVID-19 and 5G conspiracy theory that I've just loaded up. I'm not sure how good it is, so apologize if it's pretty bad, but it gives Christian a bit of time to
To
type what
say
he's
what he
thinking.
wants.
So there's a little background bit first. So it says since the beginning of December 2019, the coronavirus disease has spread rapidly around the world, which has led to an increased discussions across online platforms. These conversations have also included various conspiracies shared by social media users. Amongst them, a popular theory is linked with 5G and spread of coronavirus. Um, Leading to the misinformation of the burning 5G towers in the United Kingdom. Yeah, so that was one thing people did, Ed, because they were so sort of suspicious of these 5G towers. People actually would burn the towers that these people were putting up.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
mad.
and yeah, it was crazy to be fair. Just people just burning these towers and like the understanding of the drivers of fake news and quick policies oriented to isolate the rebate misinformation. Yeah, so people are just trying to make sure people understand what actually is going on, and they don't
Yeah,
think that 5G is the cause of this obviously coronavirus. But there is so many 5G conspiracies. It's really interesting just to read through. Like I don't personally believe in them, but there's loads of like different bits of evidence that could supposedly be true,
it could
which
possibly
is
just be like a radiation
yeah. It says the
kind of
claim is.
impact, but
Let's have a little look here. I'm just gonna read through um a tab here. And it says here, it says a picture of an engineer climbing a telecoms mast in a hazmat suit is used as a justification for these claims in regarding to the 5G. So apparently someone who's putting up one of these towers was wearing a
is when
hazmat suit while he's putting
that
up.
protects you from radiation, so
Yeah,
it
so it
makes you
might
think.
be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, radiation is always meant to be known to have impacts on you. So either that's
Hmm.
like through headaches or being ill, like physically ill
Yeah,
or whatever. So
yeah. It says
yeah, I guess it could link, but
it's
it's
the idea that the airwaves used in mobile communications can be a detriment to your health. And they're saying that it's the electromagnetic radiation, like you said, but that's not actually powerful enough to cause damage to humans. So I don't know whether they're thinking it's something stronger than just the electromagnetic radiation or something with the 5G. It's quite interesting to read about, to be honest with you. So if you do have spare time, just read into it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
obviously, it is quite interesting because it says here there's two general kinds of electromagnetic radiation: ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation. Um, and it says the ionizing radiation is powerful enough to knock electrons out of their orbit of an atom. Oh Jesus, brings back all chemistry days. I hated
Old
chemistry.
science days.
I
Oh, yeah,
hated
my
chemistry.
chemistry teacher was so sick.
She, my chemistry teacher was a
I
batty.
had Phillips. So
Ah,
yeah, he
fair.
was such a
Yeah,
legend.
yeah. Oh yeah, I hated chemistry. I just couldn't get around my head, to be honest with
And
you.
I just
They'll
hated
say
science.
something. Literally, I didn't know there was too many words. I swear they were making it up half the time. It was not on. It was not on at all. I think that's
God.
I got the lowest. I got my lowest GCSE in chemistry. Ugh.
I think it was the same for me actually. Actually, no, poly computing. I did pretty crap in computing. I took the wrong one. I probably should have taken ICT. I would be so much better at doing all this like computer stuff than I am. But apparently,
If you
like in
could,
ICT, we're learning how to save a file and doing Word documents, and I'm like,
yeah, I know. That's
if
what
you
I
have a
heard.
computer at home, you don't need to learn how to do it.
Mm, if you could retake your GCSEs, what would you take?
I mean, RE was kind of like sick, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that's just
you
because I
took
had,
RE, didn't you?
yeah, I don't even, I got B in it.
You got a B.
Yeah, well a six, so I guess that's a B.
Yeah. So if you could retake all, I mean, the four
I can't even
that you
remember
picked,
what I
which ones would you
took.
take?
I can't even remember what I
Took
took.
RE,
History, RE, computing,
business.
business. Right, okay. So I would have taken business, definitely.
No, if you had to retake four new ones,
Oh, new ones.
yeah, four completely new ones, what would it be?
Probably. I enjoyed art quite a lot.
Yeah, same to be
Back when we
honest.
were doing those, it was like a. Do
For
you remember that
fellas.
massive piece? Of, yeah, that massive piece of card. That yeah, I loved doing
Yeah,
that. That was sick.
yeah,
So
that was very good.
I would have done art.
Yeah,
Maybe is media GCSE?
yeah, media studies.
Yeah, media. Because
Yeah,
media would actually be sick. Like currently now, media would be
yeah,
such a sick. And obviously, like if I did media, business would make business a lot easier as well.
yeah.
Um,
What about the other two?
uh, ICT definitely.
Yeah,
So media, ICT, and art so far. And
yeah.
then
What
for
would
my
you take?
fourth, what was the other?
Geography, food tech, wood tech, electronics,
Oh, probably food tech. Food tech's quite a
food
good
tech.
one. Yeah, because
Yeah,
obviously
man needs
cooking's
to know how to cook.
in it for uni. I'm currently lacking in that in that department. I'm not gonna lie, but whatever.
It's kind of mad how it's like quite a big change there about if you sort of took four different ones.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
obviously you took RE business, computing, history, and now it's art, media,
History was
ICT, and food
useless.
tech.
History was useless.
Yeah, it was, but it was fun. You got a
If I
trip
took,
to
yeah,
Berlin
yeah,
out of it.
defo. If I
Did,
took, I
did
didn't
you
even
go
go.
to
No, I
Berlin?
didn't.
Oh,
I would have got. If I had done media instead of um, oh, what were we just talking about? Media instead of history.
business. Oh, instead of history, yeah.
That would literally have been me done. I would have then
Imagine
just
you did
taken
IT instead of computer, IT
oh,
instead of RE,
ICT,
instead of
media,
RE,
computing on
and
business,
business.
mate. I'm set. I'm set for life with that, you know. Right. So, what about you? And then we'll move on to what Christian has said in the chat.
Yeah. So I took let's have a look at it. I took food tech.
Yeah.
I took history as well.
Yeah.
I took geography.
I failed geography. I couldn't be bothered. I was like, yeah, I'm not taking
And
geography for his GCSE.
then then what else did I take? What did I take? I don't know.
You didn't take ICT. No, history. Have you already
Yeah.
said?
Yeah, if I said history, geography, food tech. No.
Electronics.
PE,
Oh yeah,
physical.
PE. Oh,
Mate, what?
PGCSE. I swear like people were saying that's actually so sick because practical.
Yeah, that was literally the only thing that stopped me
Yeah.
becoming a chubby boy in high school. Like at the end of high school, because you had to do like a load of running and at the end. That's the only thing that
I wish
stopped me. But
GCSEs was
yeah,
the same as A levels in terms of like you weren't forced to do English and maths and that sort of stuff.
I mean, not forced to do English and maths in A level.
No, but I mean in GCSE, I think they should have got rid of being like
Right, fair
forcing
enough.
you to do English and maths.
Yeah, but a lot of businesses, when
Require it,
employers look
yeah.
at, yeah. If I could retake, I would probably take art as well. Um, Probably business.
Wait, I swear you took. Oh wait, no. No, never mind.
No,
I'm thinking of A levels with like economics and that sort of stuff.
I'd probably take media, and then I'd probably take IT or computing. Probably
Computing was
IT.
so hard. Computing was so hard. I hated coding because I can never like remember. Because in the exam,
Yeah.
right, they gave you a piece of paper and they said, right, how can you fix this piece of code? And they
You're
gave
just
you
looking
just
at a load of
yeah, they
numbers.
literally gave you a bunch of numbers and a bunch of words and symbols, and I was there just like, right then, what's happening? What's happening here then? I don't
Yeah,
know
and
how I
then
didn't fail that. I'm pretty sure I did like
GC-
half of the paper, and I was like, yeah,
GCSEs was such a fun time though. To be fair,
uh,
just going through it
yeah,
all, like, I mean, it was stressful, but it was such a fun time. Just especially when you had the time off school, like study leave, where you could just walk out of school and do what you want. It was so fun.
yeah.
Do
Okay,
you
so
want
we're
to go
gonna
to what
yeah.
Christian said? Do
Yeah,
you want to read
so
it?
he said, so you know how a lot of kids have grown up and grown-ups have complained that they have had to get up and go to work or go to school at some time in our life. Oh, wait, go to school. At some time in our lives, we have said, I wish there was not school or work forever. Now we got our wish and there was a consequence
Oh,
for our actions. It's like teaching us how we need to appreciate that we can go outside with our without getting scared to get sick and die. And it's like a life lesson to all of us. That's
oh,
that's a
oh!
deep that's
I
a
like that.
deep
I
comment,
like
and I
that. You
love
can
that.
come back. You
Yeah,
can come back next
you're
week.
more than welcome to come back to this
You can
podcast.
definitely come back
Get
next
in,
week.
Christian. I rate you for that. Right, so I agree
Clip that. Clip
110%.
that.
So, what's funny is I was actually talking to my mum about this today, right? About how you actually take so much stuff for granted.
Yeah,
So whenever you
100%.
go to like the restaurants or whenever you go to play footy with your mates at the park, everyone
Mm,
takes that for granted. But then when we're limited to doing a select few
nothing.
hobbies,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's so hard. So like we take like the gym for granted. For those who go to the gym, I mean, I don't go to the gym, but literally like when you take it for granted, I mean that's like it's mad to think like how much you actually like miss stuff when you're stuck at home. Um,
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my life hasn't well, it's changed in terms of like no college and no work and no seeing mates. But it's like my only hobby really is playing games, and obviously it's sad to say, but it's true. And obviously, I used to do basketball in college, but I can't do that anymore at home because I don't have a basketball net at home. I have a ball, but I don't have a net, so I'm quite limited for like hard surface space because I can't exactly play it in the back garden with grass. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I just have a big brain. Very true.
Big brain. Big
Very
brain.
true. I rate that.
But yeah,
Big
I
brain
really
ideas.
yeah. But in relation to that, I do find it weird how obviously we've all. I mean, I'm still working at the moment, so I'm not really taking it as of granted. Like I know a lot of people are staying at home, but I'm in a position where I'm lucky enough to still be working, where I do, and it is really busy what I'm doing, but I'm in a position where I haven't really felt like I've had time off. Like it doesn't feel too much different for me in comparison to everyone else. Like I'm sure because Ed obviously went to college and did work on the weekends kind of thing, but
Yeah,
now
true.
all of that has suddenly stopped, and obviously that's a bit more of a shock. But for me, it's sort of slowly weaved in and out from working at home and not. So I think it is a lot more different for me. So I can't really see it from that perspective of taking things for granted. But I really do like the question of where you said how everyone says, "Oh, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work." But now
Yeah.
people are saying, "I want to go to work. I
Want
want
to?
something to
Yeah.
do."
Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of switched, hasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I always loved going to work, but there were always those days where it's like wake up at I don't know 10 a.m. and being like, don't want to go to work at 12. Like,
Yeah.
I prefer to just lie in. Obviously now I'm streaming daily at 10 a.m. and stuff, but it's like getting up and walking to a restaurant to work like an 8-hour shift is not exactly the most fun thing on like a Sunday. So
The thing is, if this wouldn't have happened, you wouldn't be streaming at 10 a.m. every
yeah,
day.
exactly. You got like the amount of stuff that's it's actually done for me is kind of mad because my like I've been streaming for quite a long time, on and off. Either that's due because of my worth ethic, or that's due to computer issues and not having a good enough computer. But now it's literally I've got no excuse. Like if I don't
You just
stream,
have to,
whatever, I
you have
don't
to do what
stream.
you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like obviously, I don't know, feeling ill or not feeling 100% is obviously a valid excuse because I don't want to stream and not put in 100% effort in the morning. Like 10 a.m.
Mhm.
100% effort is literally buzzing, like ready to play some games, ready to talk to the community, like that sort of stuff. Inclusive in what I do, basically. So it's changed a lot for me. I mean, obviously when I go to uni and stuff, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
that was one of my
it
topics
will
that I
change
wanted.
actually.
That I wanted to talk to you about. Is how do you think your streaming life is going to change at uni?
So I've kind of thought about this for a bit of time, like while I've been streaming daily. So probably for like the past month, I've thought, right. So if I start streaming now daily, what's going to
Mm,
happen when I go to uni? Because what's going to happen is when I start uni, there's obviously Freshers Week, so I won't be streaming at all in
that's
Freshers
if
Week.
it's on.
Yeah, that's if it's on. So I'm preparing for like best case scenario, right? So
We're
if
not getting drunk streams.
well, I might just flick it on, not knowing that I'm doing it and being like, ooh. um, there probably will be quite a few of those in uni. I'm not gonna lie.
Drunk podcast. I'm down.
So that'd be sick
Carry
to be
on.
fair. Um, so the first week of uni, I won't stream. I probably won't even
Mm.
upload. I might have pre-recorded uploads for like that
Oh,
week. Um, and obviously my birthday's before then, so I won't be streaming like a couple of days before. I've got to move in, so I won't be streaming. So it'll probably be about 2 weeks of just no streams at all, no uploads, nothing. But then when uni starts to like give me the work and stuff, I've got to think, right, I've got to balance my work, I've got to balance seeing friends, I've got to balance like going clubbing, having a social life, I've got to balance streaming, YouTube, that sort of stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, that is gonna come last on the list
what?
because
All YouTube and
yeah,
streaming.
because uni is so much more important. I prefer to get a degree, know exactly what I'm gonna do, and then if that
Yeah.
like I can fall back on YouTube or whatever if it doesn't work.
What happens if your YouTube takes off a bit? Like, say you got 10,000 subscribers by September, 10,000 followers on Twitch by September.
I would probably just be like, right, um, Christian, yes, you can say one more, mate. You can say as many things as you want. We're
Yeah,
gonna
keep
go
keep them
into
coming.
yeah, exactly. Like we're down to talk about whatever. So if that did happen, then it might change my thought. It might be like, right, I might actually stream like 4 times a week, 5 times a week,
Hmm.
and go clubbing and stuff on the other days, or I might have to change it to like at the weekends an all day stream like 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and then I have my social life afterwards.
Yeah,
Um,
I know what you mean with that. Just trying to
Trying to balance it
stay.
out because
Yeah,
even if I do have 10,000 followers, that's not enough to do what I want to do. And I feel like a degree is obviously solid. Like I'm paying to go to uni for a reason. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I probably will still stream, probably about 3 times a week. At the weekends, probably every single, like both weekends, just in the morning or in the day. But I've obviously got to think like my flatmates, what they want to do. Like, do we want to go hang out somewhere? Do we want to go out or whatever? It might be like smaller streams. I like haven't really thought about that. I'll have to deal
Do you
with
think
that when it gets to the
do you
point.
think you would do vlogs at all, like real life vlogs, if you got to that sort of size, or would you wait until you were bigger?
So I was actually thinking about that. So I was actually gonna start doing some vlogging in the lockdown, but then I realised there's not really much going on, so there's not really much
No,
point. Whereas at
I know what I
uni,
mean.
I mean, I probably would do some vlogging, but it probably would be one vlog a week to like sum up the week because uni's going to be very repetitive. It's going to be me going to lectures, doing my work, streaming, getting some clips, YouTube editing, then social life, which is just going to be clubbing it, having a good time with
Mm.
mates. So I mean, it's going to be very repetitive. I'm not really going to really be able to like travel or anything like that. But on the other hand, my third year is a year in placement, which I could do abroad, and that would then be a perfect opportunity to vlog.
Yeah, 100%. Because obviously, when you're abroad, you don't have all your gaming set up with you, so it'll be a lot easier for you to stay in sort of in your community if you'll be able to do them vlogs.
So I'd probably just take like I wouldn't bring my computer. I wouldn't be able to stream for that year,
Mm.
but I would possibly be able to make videos on like a laptop and just vlog and have like
Yeah,
a year of vlogging.
I think it'd be proper interesting just to see how you can sort of cope through uni life while keeping your community that you have.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna be too hard because I like to think that I'm quite an organised person.
Mm.
With obviously me doing a BTEC at college, it's made it very easy for me to balance doing my work and having a social life and still getting those like top grades that everyone wants. So I feel like it's going to be a lot harder work and a lot more research based. Like my course is very coursework based, but some exam. And
Mm.
obviously doing those exams and stuff, I won't be able to stream or do YouTube for that time because revision is going to be more important. But other than that, I mean, like it will be very interesting to see how I'm going to cope, and it will also be quite fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I guess
Mm.
I hope like the community that I would have built up by then, streaming daily, will be so strong that it doesn't matter if I take time off.
Yeah, they'll respect it. And they'll
Yeah,
sort of
they'll understand.
you'll work around it. You'll work to what's best for you, and obviously you'd hope they'll accept that
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what you can do. Yeah. So
Maybe the younger audience. Sorry about that. I kind of cut you off.
no, that's fine.
Maybe the younger audience won't really understand it as much because they're not really through like the college and the uni and how important it actually is.
Yeah.
But the age of like the same age as me, or maybe the older like viewers will be like, right, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy is actually like he understands what's going to happen, and then yeah, they'll respect it and they'll come back. That's the main thing that I want. I just want consistent viewers who don't care like what I stream or when I stream. They just
Mm.
constantly like see me go live and they're like, yes, I'm going to sit in his stream now and talk to him.
Yeah, no, that's what we want. That's what every sort of smaller streamer wants. Like, I would definitely prefer to have 5 consistent viewers than to have 100 viewers on a stream. Like 100%. Like, I'd prefer to have them viewers that come in every single stream, talking, like making conversation, than to have one stream that just gets 100 views, but then after that, no one from that 100 come back in. If you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
Obviously, it's nice to get 100 views on a stream, like,
Oh yeah, of
but
course. I mean, whenever I get hosted by like I've got a few stream mates who have hosted me in the past, and it's great. So I've had like the Caramel Gamer, who is blowing up and he's doing really well. He's raided me with like 70 viewers before,
jeez.
and it's just mad. It's mad. It actually makes you so happy to see like the single digit like from like 2 to like 75, and it's like oh my god, people actually are watching me. I
Yeah,
mean,
you got then you
I
can't be stupid. Then you got to be
exactly
serious.
like well no even then like be like it actually makes you want to be more stupid but at the same time
Yeah, I
being
know.
more serious because you want to attract people. That's the whole point. Like you want to have
Yeah,
consistency. Um, and I mean, when people like lurk in my stream, it's good. It gives me average viewers. It boosts my stats. Like on paper, that looks sick, right?
mm,
But then when it's me streaming and I see that there's like 5 people watching, but no one's talking, it's mm, like I prefer those 5 people to be talking to me and have no
yeah,
and let me know that they're having a good time than
yeah,
having 5 people who don't talk and I'm there just like right. So are you enjoying what you're doing or are you just here because I asked you to be here? That
yeah.
sort of stuff. So
One question I have for Christian, after he finishes typing his interest in
it's
another
yeah,
massive
it's gonna be a
question he
massive
has,
part. It's gonna take up the whole chat.
it's just about whether he would prefer if we had our own sort of Twitch channel for the podcast or to be streaming on this. It just depends what people would prefer. If we're
Yeah.
just doing it on Ed's channel or we have our own sort of separate thing that we can advertise separately. But obviously, it's whatever the viewers prefer. Because obviously you've already got people in here who would check in when you're live.
Yeah.
But if we can get some of them like Christian, who's a really interactive viewer,
Yeah.
over
Definitely.
to this thing, who can obviously bring the interactions, it'll be really good and really interesting.
I mean, I like quite a few of my like the OGs are always talking in chat for me. Like
Yeah,
whenever
that's
they're
what
in
you
the
want.
stream, it's good. So I mean, if they then see that we're doing a podcast, I don't think it matters what channel we do it on. I think they're gonna come over either way.
Yeah, especially if we promote it right. I think that'd be the
Exactly.
best thing.
Exactly.
I have a question for you, Ed.
Yeah.
What? Because obviously this is a very new thing for both of us. What are your sort of what are your hopes for this?
For the
Give me
podcast,
give me your hopes. Give me them. Give me them.
right. We just had a
Oh.
yeah, man.
Best podcast at EU.
Mate, you know how it is.
Oh.
You-
Oh no. He's
Oh,
not saying us.
I think that's a rhetorical question. I think he thinks. I think he's saying best podcast at EU question mark.
Good
It's you.
save. Yeah.
And thank you very much.
Yeah. No, that's what you meant, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
meant we are the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
podcast EU.
I think it's
First
a rhetorical
podcast,
question.
best podcast, as
Exactly.
always.
Easy life.
But
Sorry.
who's going to be second? Who's going to be second?
Just
Who's
laughing
going to be
out
Who's going to be the close second?
I've only watched one other podcast in the EU.
I
Actually,
think
two.
Who do you watch?
Wait,
Who
actually,
have you
no, 3.
watched? Go on, then name them.
It was Happy Hour.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
True
Happy Hour,
Geordies.
Jack Mate.
Or Jack Mate.
No, that's
Right.
Jack Mate.
Second
Second
place
place
is the
a Caramel Gamer.
Dog shit podcast. I rate that. I don't think he'll agree with you there, but you know what? We'll take it. We're number 1. Podcast Essential is number 1. I think it's going to be second. Wait, right. Let's take it seriously. Actually, first, I think is going to be the one that I watch the most is the What's Good podcast, which is Randolph and Mini Minter. Second, I think would be True Geordie because he actually talks about relatable stuff, and it's actually mad. Did I send it? No, you didn't, Christian. So if that means you got to restart, that's very heavy.
Oh no! Please don't say you typed. You spent 5 minutes writing something it
I
didn't send.
bet you spent 5 minutes writing something it just didn't send.
5 viewers hype. 5 viewers hype.
Pog.
But Christian, oh no!
Heavy.
So you think What's Good first? Yeah.
What's Good podcast is first, and then it's the True Geordie podcast.
Okay.
As second, and then Happy Hour is third. I don't watch Happy Hour, and I don't really watch True Geordie. But they're the only other two that I really understand, like what's going on.
Yeah, I think
exist.
EU that I've listened to, like YouTuber wise, because obviously there's a lot of ones that might be on like Spotify or that. But ones that I listen to, probably the best one is going to be True Geordie that I know of, just because they've had really interesting people on, and they've had people like YouTubers on that quite interesting stories, and they're really good host when it comes to being on a podcast.
I think True Geordie is just an absolute legend.
Yeah,
I think
especially with his with Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Tell you what, Lawrence, right, sounds exactly like Yogscast Jin. Oh, Shin.
No,
I can't. No, I didn't.
I can copy and
paste. Okay, rate that.
Thank God. Did you say
Christian
be typing it in notes?
He's probably done that. But actually, no, I'd say not Happy Hour. Sorry, Joe Weller's podcast.
Yeah, he did have a few out there.
I can't remember the name of it, and I'm gonna find it now.
Remember Zerka's podcast that he had for like 3?
I didn't watch it at all.
I'm gonna see what it's called. Zerka podcast. Let's have a look. It was the homegrown podcast.
Oh, that's
that he had. Yeah, he literally only had about 5, and then that was it.
Waffling by Joe Weller. Waffling by Joe Weller. Yeah.
There is quite a few now. You think of them, to be fair.
I think Joe Weller's is third. I think it's too long to get in the chart.
Get it in parts, then. Just
send it in parts, and we'll just do it. I mean, yeah. I feel like they have a lot of relatable content.
Yeah,
Because
especially with just getting YouTubers on.
yeah, I mean they're like mid-20s, so it makes it really attractive for like obviously our age and then older people as well.
Yeah,
So
especially because you're in like the upcoming position.
yeah,
It's like
exactly,
becoming this. So I think that's one of them.
exactly. You had a question for me.
Me,
Yeah.
I just said, what do you want with the future of this
Oh
podcast?
yeah, right. We'll continue. So basically, all I want with this podcast is, I mean, I enjoy just talking to people in general. I'm very
Mm.
talkative when it comes to just like streaming in general as well. And I think when we have a constant, I think I want it to be a constant flow of viewers that talk and interact with us. So as it's actually happening now with Christian, but I want like Christian times like 10, times 20. Like I'd be happy. So the so I'm so that the sub that you just did, right,
It just
actually
cut out
popped
our
up,
audio.
but I don't know why the audio came through because there's nothing on this scene. But whatever, we're gonna
No,
ignore
no,
that.
the audio didn't come through for me. You just sort of cut out. I don't know if it came through on the actual stream or not.
Wait, it came through in my like in my headphones, like really loud. I was like, "What's this?" I turned to the right and just see it. Right. Well, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna move on. You've missed your chance to say a big
Twitch
have a
Prime,
big thank you,
Twitch
and you've
Prime,
also
Twitch
missed
Prime.
out on the.
Oh,
Oh, okay. We're gonna read that in a second, right? But I'm gonna continue saying what I was saying to answer your question.
yeah.
I'd be happy with this podcast to reach a solid, like live, I'd say 10 to
Mm,
20 people.
yeah.
Hopefully this will be when it comes
When's
to
that
like
by?
September
September. Okay.
or by the end of the year. But
Mhm.
obviously we don't know that because I don't know what's going to happen when I go to uni.
Mhm.
Like you might have to do one like on your own or something like that.
Yeah, just trying to get
Yeah, like you
people
might just
in.
have to like record one. Well, we might have to record one actually and like
Yeah.
put it on the YouTube. Yeah, so I'd say 20 people solid by the end of the year. And then for views on YouTube, probably about like 20 views on YouTube. I'd be happy with.
Yeah. Like a standard amount.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I would just like you say, just like a standard community,
Yeah, I'm just gonna
just that
turn my
can
light on.
hop on and reply to our tweets
Yeah, exactly.
and stuff like that. That just get involved. I think that'll be really good.
I agree.
Shall I read out this thing from Christian
Yeah,
then?
you can read it out.
So there are a lot of people saying that this is an end of the world, and we have to die for fly to God. But what happens? It is you can read it. I'm dyslexic.
Wait, I gotta pre-read it before I read it because this is what I do in stream. I have to proofread something to make sure it's actually like I can make sense of it. So there are a lot of people saying that this is the end of the world, but what happens if this is a simulation? Like our life is actually a game inside a game or a computer, and this virus might be a like computer virus that you get. And the
Uh,
more people advance technology, like like VR for example, to see if it's actually like a dream or like a when our life is like a computer.
Christian coming with the
Wait,
deep questions.
uh,
We're putting us in
oh, he
computing
had
your
a
woke up telling.
dream about he was in a computer and he woke up
That's a
and was
madness.
speaking to his mum thinking that he was in the dream and he saw
Jesus.
the real outside.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
mad.
that's deep, lad, you know.
I mean, there is always speculation that this could all
In
be
it.
sort of a
That's
simulation,
like
but
that's the stuff
it's
that we
like
used to talk about in like primary school or high
I
school.
think I
We were
think
like, what
maybe
happens?
next week. I don't know if you're down for it. Christian might be down for it. But do you want to talk about conspiracies and different conspiracy theories next week? I reckon that'd be quite an interesting.
Conspiracy theories would be quite cool. I'm down.
Just we
We
get
can
a
do
few
some
each and
research
just
into it. Yeah.
yeah, I think that'd be quite cool. But yeah, especially that one. I think that's quite an interesting one to talk about because it's
Life
I
being a
don't
computer.
yeah because obviously you hear people saying it, but there's like what is the evidence to support that? What is going on there, sort of thing. So
Yeah,
you don't know
exactly.
really what happens.
So
One
what?
thing that
Sorry.
I don't know if you were here before, Christian. I was just asking if you would prefer us to have our own um
Oh, in Twitch.
channel, our own Twitch, if you would prefer that, or just carry on streaming on my
Yes.
limits. It's totally sort of a viewer's suggestion. I just wanted to hear it from your side.
Yeah. Basically. Um. So basically, yeah. So I think I might have already told you this, but I had a dream. Like, we're gonna continue this dream theory on, right? So I
Love
had a
it.
dream the other day that I was getting beaten up by some monsters, right? And one
Mhm.
literally like uppercutted me. Right.
Mhm.
I woke up straight away, right? I woke up straight away and needed to go to the toilet. Went to the toilet, had a nosebleed instantly, and it was
Had a
dead
nosebleed
weird. Yeah,
instantly.
literally instantly. I woke up and had a nosebleed. I was there just like, this is real. I'm gonna die. Monsters are gonna kill me. I'm gonna die. He's
That's a madness.
Christian. Yeah, innit?
Yeah.
Christian said, yeah, own channel. So
So
yeah,
if, we'll definitely take that on board.
yeah, innit? We'll have to obviously when we have more consistent viewers. Don't actually no, maybe not even then. We kind of did it because obviously you've got to have a stream key, and it's going to be very
Mhm.
difficult for me to change my stream key every single time. I'm probably bound to
It
forget.
most likely, yeah, most likely something that I'll have to set up. Ed's normally setting this up now, just on the basis that he's been streaming
Yeah,
longer than I have that before.
you gotta rate the childish, honey. I rate that, James.
Obviously, yeah, you gotta
That's James Young, by
you
the way.
gotta rep. Oh, is it
Yeah,
fair?
I rate that.
I would prefer the black one with the flames that says childish across it.
I don't actually watch them anymore. You know, I just
I
stopped.
mean,
I just kind of got a bit like bored, a bit repetitive. I don't know. I kind of like. I don't know.
yeah,
I
but
don't really watch YouTube very much actually anymore. Apart from like KSI, the odd KSI video, all the Sidemen
mm,
videos, of course, because they're like the best in the game. Best on
yeah. To be
YouTube.
fair, going back to the own channel sort of thing, the main reason why Ed's doing it at the moment is because obviously he's more experienced in getting it all set up and everything like that. In comparison to me, because obviously he's been streaming longer than what I've ever done. I've never been had the sort of effort to carry it on.
Yeah.
But now because we got two people going, I feel like that'll be easier to keep up with it and stay involved with it. And so it'll give you more motivation to learn how to get better at it. So I definitely think that might be something that we'll look into if it's easier for us to sort of take it in turns doing it, which I think would be quite interesting.
I mean, we
And
can
how
literally,
it's run.
you can straight up just replicate like exactly what's on the screen. I can just send you over all the stuff in files. You can just download it and just start it up.
100%. Is there anything you sort of wanna talk about before we wrap up the stream? I think we were planning to go for about just over an hour,
Yeah.
and it's come to that. To be fair, we planned on just going for about half an hour. It's just
It's just popped
spiraled
off,
out.
innit?
But
Popping
yeah,
off.
it's not a bad thing. Hopefully, you should see some clips on Twitter and YouTube. I'm sure we've got a few from this thing that we can just sort of promote.
Yeah. So
Um, favorite games.
currently. Harry,
Perfect.
you can go first.
Oh, okay. Favorite game. So it's got to be. I've got to say Warzone because it's one of the main games that I play.
My G.
And yeah, so Warzone definitely 100%. And then I think GTA probably. I think GTA's come back in popularity.
We've been playing a lot of GTA actually. Like me,
Yeah,
you, and the other boys.
I think I enjoy Warzone more than what I did Fortnite just because it's more realistic
Yeah.
and it's more sort of engaging than Fortnite because that's obviously I just don't know. I just didn't find that as enjoyable. Like I was all right at the game, but I just didn't find it as enjoyable as I would as I do Warzone. So I've played GTA
And
now,
I've become a
and I've become a
modder.
modder. Mate,
James, you've always been a modder, lad. You've always been
I,
a modder. Don't lie. Call of
I
Duty
love
Black
playing
Ops 2 days.
GTA. Yeah.
Black Ops 2 days, mate. Like, Christian said, damn, I wrote all of that, and you just read 2 sentences. Christian, mate, it's because long sentences kind of mess with our heads. We always lose track of where we're at. I mean, I always
to
do
be
that.
to be fair, in relation to that, it's just a difficult topic to get into because
I feel
it's
like
difficult to
we can save that. We're going to drop that into the
yeah
notepad, and we're going to save it for next week's stream on conspiracies. And
yeah
we can put that in. So
look
I'll add
into it a
that
bit
into
more
the
because
notepad now.
yeah, it's difficult just to sort of to talk about that topic because it's like we were saying, it's a very in-depth topic to get into when you don't really know much about it. So like Ed said, we're definitely gonna take that on board for the next week's one.
Yeah, I've added it into the notepad now.
But yeah, we weren't just like not taking it aboard. We definitely wanna look into that more.
If you guys want a money drop, I'll get you guys money.
Literally, me and Ed are like rank 20. Like, we've just been
20k
doing
to the
it
bank.
high as we can. Yeah.
Yeah. So Christian, we'll add that to the list. I've added it now, and we will talk about it next week podcast, along with a bunch of other conspiracies that we'll do some research into.
So going back to that favorite game, I think definitely Warzone and GTA are my favorite games. I don't play anything else. I don't really watch any other games. I just watch GTA. I watch a lot of GTA roleplay, like situations and stuff like that. I don't know if James knows what I'm talking about there, or you know what I'm talking about.
Roleplay. Summit 1G does what roleplay on GTA.
Yeah, literally, it looks so fun, but it'd be just, I don't know how easy it would be to get used to playing it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
true.
If
you know what I mean, because obviously you have to pretend like you're actually in that real life situation. I don't know how easy it would be.
It's so sick. I've watched Summit 1G stream it, and it's mad because
GTA
he puts a voice on, right?
Yeah.
And he has like a gender he sticks to. It's sick. I love it. It's so funny as well because you get like some random people just coming in.
I watch a person called Bay Area Bugs. He's cool. I don't know how big of a YouTuber he is. He has like loads of GTA roleplay that he does. I watch them all, and it's just so funny because obviously it's different to normal GTA. It like splits it up a little bit, and it just makes you want to just you can just chill and watch one of them. It's just funny to get into. And then obviously, the only other game that I watch is Warzone, and that'll be like Vic, because obviously I mainly watch the Sidemen anyway, and Vic's at the moment is popping off. So
I used to play GTA RP, roleplay. It takes so long to get money. I used to be a weapons dealer in a biker gang, and I bought a Merc and made new friends.
I mean, the one that I'm talking about, they have more like different scenarios, so it gets set up sort of then and there. So the one that with Bay Area Bugs, he literally every sort of time they have their own scenarios. They all have like modding things, so they can just spawn in their own car, and they all they have set police people. They have set laws in the actual city, and I think it's different to what Summit does and what you talk about there, James. But it definitely is interesting. You're talking about a whitelisted RP. Yeah, it'll be a whitelisted RP server. Yeah, 100%, because you have the same people on it. And everyone's getting involved with it. Yeah, it is very similar, but it won't be as grindy as what James talked about.
It's also very similar to like DayZ.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of like role playing, so people like make bases and stuff, and like
especially because of the voice chat in game chat.
If you've ever heard of Mr. Moon and Frankie on 60 FPS, they both actually did some sick like videos. Frankie has now stopped YouTube, unfortunately, and Mr. Moon uploads a lot less regularly. But when they used to actually stream, or not stream, sorry, well, they did stream. When they used to record videos, they were so interesting. I'd sit there for hours just watching these guys role play DayZ. It's mad.
It's quite fun.
Have you got any other favourite games, or is that your list?
I don't really play any other games. There's games I would hop on, like Rocket League's fun to play every now and then, but I just lose me skill in it, and I'm not that good.
Yeah.
What about you? What are your favourite games?
Well, I mean, obviously I've been playing a bit of Valorant recently, and I mean, it's I don't find it fun when I'm not playing with people. So it's very hard to judge. For me, it's very hard to judge games without having like the experience playing with people and playing like on my own. GTA is fun when you're playing with mates. I don't find it fun when I'm playing on my own. Valorant is the same. I'm back. I got to go eat. I'll see you tomorrow. I will come back and tell you more things that I think I saw. Christian, that's fine.
Tweet us, Christian, with what your suggestions are.
You can tweet us, or you can drop it in the video comments. If you go down to the panel section below, go and subscribe to our YouTube and go on the video and comment any stuff you see. I obviously will be live 10 a.m. tomorrow at my normal time on my normal stream.
I think Christian might be in America though, just because of how he said it says mom. So I think he might be American, so he might be on different timescales to us. Relation, so he might not be awake at 10 a.m.
Yeah, but if you are there, he's normally in. So If
I was
if
fair
you
enough.
if you are, then just drop me some messages and I'll put it into the notepad for future
It's safe,
reference.
yeah.
But following on, GTA I find boring on my own, but entertaining when I'm in a group. Valorant is the same. It's basically like the same thing. I mean,
Yeah. What about Warzone? Is Warzone one of the top?
so Warzone is very on and off. I'm getting quite bored of it,
Mm.
but I feel like when like I haven't played it for like a certain amount of time, then I'll actually like want to play it again. I feel like it's more meta based and it's kind of oversaturated now that so many people have got so good at it. Um, I mean, it's still fun, don't get me wrong, but it's very repetitive and very like I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm
100%.
getting like mixed feelings currently of it. League of Legends, I'm having a banger of a time with. I play that with Connor like basically every day. It's actually like so much fun to play with. I find that very entertaining. Um, and I mean, any other games? What other games have I been playing recently?
I think it's just them three, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing else that really pops to mind when you think about games in the
Yeah.
current situation. I mean, I wouldn't sort of diss going back to play Fortnite just to see how bad I am.
Oh, mate, I download. I was basically I hopped into one of my mate's streams today this morning. I was like, I'm gonna jump on Fortnite, load up Fortnite. He was like, yeah, I'm bored of Fortnite, and I was like, right, well, I'm not loading it up. It's quite funny. Uh, I've just uninstalled League of Legends. Got bored. Literally,
Ed's
James,
triggered. Ed's
you
triggered.
just you need to give it some time, man. It's very grindy. It's on stream. Quite a few people get bored because they don't actually play the game, so they don't understand like the laning phases and that sort of stuff. But it it's it's not a try hard game until you get into a fight. So you can like joke around and stuff like when you're farming or whatever, farming your
I've
minions.
I've tried to play it, but I don't know. It's very like on and off. Like I seem to like occasionally like you just like destroy a person by just spam clicking them and then spam clicking abilities.
Have
But
you ever played
I feel
Dota? Pretty sure you used to play
uh
Dota 2, didn't you? Back in the day.
yeah, back in the day, I think because my brother used to play a lot of League of Legends and a lot of Dota, especially with
Yeah,
Connor's brother and Connor. So I
remember
think
that.
I was played a little bit here and there, but it's nothing like what you play still at the moment.
I've been playing Predator Hunting Grounds. That's a really good
What's
game. I've never heard of that.
yeah? What's that game? Is it like a survival game? It sounds like something like
Yeah,
that.
no.
I
Anyways,
mean,
any other topics because we have gone to 1 hour 20. So it's we can we can either end it now or we can continue. It's completely up to you. We can talk about one more topic and then
yeah, I think we'll get one more topic, then we'll sort of wrap it up
okay.
and finish off the stream because I think so far it's been quite a successful
It's
start
been
to
fun.
streaming.
I've enjoyed it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
and I feel like especially we've got a lot sort of more natural into it.
interactive. Yeah, exactly. I think we're
Yeah,
more comfortable. I
yeah,
feel like the
100%.
first like half an hour was very like scripted. Four survivors and one predator, basically like Dead by Daylight,
Oh
but
right,
better. Fair enough. I mean,
I've Dead by Daylight.
I
Dead
have
by
Dead
Daylight's
by
quite
Daylight.
fun.
Dead by Daylight. I feel like Dead by
It's a good
Daylight was
game.
only really fun though when you had, because I'm pretty sure when I used to play it, you couldn't
Mm.
make a custom game with unless you had like a full lobby. And back then, there wasn't anyone playing it, so you couldn't get into a custom lobby. So it was very like, I don't know. I kind of went off it after I bought it because no one really had it, and it was getting a bit boring. I have a
Yeah.
bunch of Steam games that I probably should just play again, but
Yeah, and I'm gonna go through my Steam games now and see have a look at which ones that I just don't play and
I
don't
know.
get. Let's have a look. Oh God, let me get that there.
I mean, like PUBG and stuff. PUBG
One,
used to
there we
be
go.
so much fun. I probably got so many hours in PUBG. It's ridiculous.
I have Blacklight Retribution. That used to be a sick game. That's
I've
sort.
never heard of that.
It's difficult game to explain. It's sort of like a Daisy mixed with another game. It's just sort of a lot of like grindy. You just want to level it up.
Yeah.
And then I've got Call of Duty, Black Ops 2. Obviously, it's just one of the best games
What are
ever
you guys
made.
doing after this stream? Want to play GTA and go into an invite only? I'm not too sure
100%.
to be fair. I mean, I'll probably just hop off, watch Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie.
Think after this might hop off, but I'm sure I'm down to do it like tomorrow or something like that. When obviously we've got nothing on.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm guessing James plays on, obviously it'll be on computer and he just
Yeah.
mods everything.
Yeah.
Payday 2, that's such a sick game.
I remember when you used to play it. I remember when I
Yeah,
used to come over and literally like you used to be playing it. It was mad. It actually looked kind of fun though. I never really
yeah,
downloaded it, but
it's such a good game, Payday 2.
did look good. Did look very
And
good.
then obviously Portal 2, that's also a sick game. It's a lot very strategic. I think you would like Portal 2. If me and you played it, it'd be pretty balanced.
I saw that as well. I'm not gonna lie. But these are like very old games
Yeah, but I mean,
that were being
they're very
played.
fun to play. And then I have Watch Dogs 2, which is an old game, but that's also fun. That's sort of like GTA, but all hacking and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah,
quite good.
true.
Do you remember Scrap Mechanic?
No,
Didn't you have that? Don't you have that game?
I might have it. What's it about?
What? It's like a way you can just build random things. What about Shell Shock? You must remember Shell Shock.
Shell Shock was a banger game when we used to all play it. That was so much fun. I've always had like thoughts about just going back to it and being like, I wonder what it's gonna be like. But
I think one day I do need to just go back to some of the games I have on Steam, just reinstall them because a lot of them aren't installed because
I've
reset my
uninstalled it because
PC.
obviously when I got my new computer, I kind of like took that as a chance to be able to clear all my folders out, not have like all these games that I don't play, and I kind of made the mistake of actually reinstalling some of the games I actually didn't want. So I installed Overwatch that I don't play. I obviously installed like PUBG and that sort of stuff that I don't play. I tried PUBG Lite. Have you ever played PUBG Lite?
On the phone?
No, on computer.
No, what's
It's
that?
basically PUBG, but it's exactly the same as PUBG, but less graphics. So it's only like 30% CPU instead of like PUBG obviously being like the main 70%. So it's
PUBG
like
was such a
it
good
runs so
game.
much smoother on PUBG Lite.
I mean, PUBG was good, but it just had so many issues with it that just made it.
Definitely.
But it was. I think PUBG, like being able to kill people on PUBG, is a lot more realistic than it is on Warzone. But Warzone, as sort of like a system as itself, is just a better game.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So like because obviously you had helmets on PUBG and body armor, which made more sense when you got like headshot or damage just your soul of your helmet, and then body shots would damage solely your body armor. So I think that's where PUBG had the upper hand in that sort of more detail. But I think when it comes to would you rather play a lobby in Warzone or GTA or PUBG, if they were both full and like decent lobbies, I'd probably pick Warzone just
I
because.
feel like Warzone's just more modern, isn't it? I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely more modern. I think it's got better weapons, better use of weapons, better sounds. Literally all the little details. I think the map's good, even though PUBG had massive maps and they were really like detailed. I just prefer the Warzone map. It feels a lot more closer combat and everything like that.
What are your thoughts on aliens, ghosts, etc.? That can
That's
be
sort
left
that's
for
sort of
conspiracies. That can
I
be
think
left for
that's sort
next
of a link
week.
into
I'll put
conspiracy.
that on my notepad as well. We've got some good ideas.
I mean,
Next stream's looking up, boys. It's looking up.
do you want to close it off?
Yeah, we can do. Let me just add this in. Right, yeah. Well, I think that was a great first stream for obviously
100%.
the Podcast Essential channel. If you are still here, I know James is still here. If anyone else is still here, be sure to go and subscribe to the YouTube. That would help us a lot. Be able to go and also follow us on Twitter. Obviously, the stuff is on screen now for you. Or
You'll be getting
can,
updates on Twitter, sort
or you
of
can just go down
every
to
few
my
days.
panel section and click the button, and it'll link you directly to it. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll probably work on making our own channel for it, which would be would be good because then we can differentiate my viewers to the podcast viewers. So
sort of filter them out to who wants to watch what.
Exactly. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for jumping in to the first ever Podcast Essential live podcast on Twitch.tv. And I guess we'll see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. BST.
Yeah.
You
Cheers,
guys
guys.
made money. I got you. Oh man.
Is this real life? Real life?
Oh yeah, hit me up. Right. Anyway, yeah. See you in a bit.
Cheers, guys.